in this film for their...
Yo, how's it going, Chad? Did I scare you? I hope I scared you. How many streamers get to scare you? Not very many. I don't have any intro. It's just I click play and it goes. I need to increase my production value, shouldn't I? But how can I compete? Like back in 2018, if you were to stream, weren't that many, you know, people like Let's Play. Now, why would anyone watch me play a game when you can watch a Ushikushi lady, huh? Maybe Sarah J. Jacobson likes to see me play because she doesn't like those VTubers. Huh? Like she's interested in manly men, which is why she's here. Anyway, couple of things happened. Apparently, ChatGPT is unable to solve simple math equations because they lobotomized it. And I will release a video about that on my main channel. They're going after musicians now. Apparently, try that in a small town is racist. I don't understand why, because if you look at the lyrics, so if you're unaware, Jason Aldean, apparently he is a big shot when it comes to... shut the fuck up. When it comes to country music, like, we don't have that in Romania, but... yeah, I wouldn't even hear about him unless, of course, you know, he got cancelled. And the lyrics are like, spit on a cop, cuss him out, stamp on the US flag, try that in a small town, right? And apparently, in the minds and the wise people of the left, that is racist. Because I guess, like, a white man would never do something like it. So they decided to cancel him. You know, it's interesting because Wet Ass Pussy isn't canceled. Like, that was trending on YouTube as a #1 song. That's not offensive. That's perfectly acceptable. It's kind of interesting because Belle Delphine also tried to mimic the scenes from that song, and her channel got banned. Yeah, like, she had to go on Twitter and cry about it so that it get restored. Interesting times we live in. You know what else is banned? Well, it's not banned, but it's problematic, actually. Baby, It's Cold Outside. Yes, apparently it's misogynistic. Interesting how Tyler, the Creator, gets to have lyrics like he would force himself on a pregnant woman so that he can tell his friends that he had the threesome. That's not problematic. That is a very progressive song. That pumps the ESGs. Yes, that pumps the ESGs. It's really good. Your children should listen to it, and your children's children. It's a classic. This is why I hate the censorship, to be honest. Like, okay, you want to sanitize society because you believe musicians are like bards from Dungeons and Dragons and their songs are evil and that they create danger to society. At least be consistent about it. You know, like, at least once every while, like, just not always, but like every now and then, just ban a lefty song too. Just ban a lefty song. Like after you ban 100 right-wing songs that you don't like, just one lefty as well, so you can at least pretend that there is some resemblance of like the rules being applied evenly. To be fair, after the last 3 years, you should absolutely be disrespectful to the authorities, politicians, and bureaucrats. Oh, see, you say that in France, it may shut down social media. That's the answer. To Macron's problem. It's not like, okay, well, let's see the grievances. Like, why are people upset? No. The solution is like, get people to stop talking to each other. That's definitely going to shut down all the grievances that exist in Paris. Like, the main issue that Macron is facing is that Parisians are talking and communicating to each other. That is the #1 concern. Oh, God. Isn't math racist? Everything is racist. I think racism is racist too. No, actually, hold on. The only thing that's not racist is racism. Unironically, like, you can say whatever you want about the cisgender straight white man. That is perfectly acceptable. Bonjour, Michael Guevara. Bonjour. Alright, let's see what news we got. I'm a little bit tired today, chat. Not gonna lie. A little bit. This one is my favorite. You know, like, people keep saying, it's like, why do you point out hypocrisy? It's because it's the only way to depower these people. Like, no one wants to listen to a priest that's drunk, right? Like, even if you're a religious person, like, even if you're a Catholic, if the priest is wasted, no one wants to listen to them. Look at this. This is my favorite. From the same publication, The Independent. People who don't have children benefit our environment more than any campaign. It's time to celebrate them. Society should also acknowledge that those who choose not to have children are making a valuable contribution to a sustainable future. Oh, God. Having children is one of the most destructive things you can do to the environment, says researchers. I mean, if the researchers are saying one fewer child per family can save average of 58.6 tons of CO2 equivalent emissions. In case you missed it, Macron said that Africa is held back by women having 7 or 8 children. Macron made some incredibly offensive comments about Africa in a speech. You know, I don't even need to say anything. It's just like you put this, and I'm pretty sure like the viewers get the same thoughts in their head, like I'm getting now. I think The Independent is a little bit offensive. Yeah, go home, Independent. You're drunk, pretty much. Yes. How can you say it's not an anti-human ideology if it literally advocates for not having kids? Like I don't even think religions used to do that in the past. You know, I don't think there's a single religion that it. Well, let me show you something else that's evil. Also, The Independent. I mean, every single time it's The Independent. Our pets are part of the climate problem. These tips can help you minimize their carbon paw prints. Oh. Global warming might be causing dogs to become depressed. Dogs could become more hostile to humans as the planet heats up. Environment impact of pets. Maybe it's time to eat the dog. Sustainable living. Eat the dog. I think like there needs to be like some humiliation involved to save the planet, right? Like you need to procrastinate yourself. Why, chat? Why are these news articles a thing? Why do they exist? I want to read this one. This right-wing conspiracy theory about eating the bugs. NPR. Did you know that NPR doesn't have a Twitter anymore because Elon Musk said that they're state-sponsored? I will not eat the bugs became a meme on 4chan, an emerged conservative talk show and political speech. But why has it gained traction? Well, I don't expect them to understand why, but if you look at the World Economic Forum, they're putting it on their fucking website that in order to reduce carbon emissions, we can't have slaughterhouses and farming. Like, those are a problem. So instead, they're suggesting insect farming because it has less carbon. That's why, right? So the European Union has actually authorized the consumption of insects. Well, at least several. People don't want to do it. I don't even think it's a right-wing thing. Like the very idea that you think like left-leaning people are going to stuff their face with crickets is also very amusing. No one wants to eat the crickets. The only thing is that even like the journalists from The Guardian that are making articles with like eating crickets and shit, they're not going to eat them. Klaus Schwab isn't going to eat them. Like, the only thing is like, yeah, maybe in the future we can. So it's kind of like a save the planet for the future type of thing, you know? So in this week, Code Switch, Jin Demby, and NPR reporter Huo Jingnan dive into the sprawling conspiracy theory behind it. Oh, so now it's a conspiracy theory. You know, you should shut down the World Economic Forum website because it spreads a lot of conspiracy theories, unironically. Proponents of the theory lean on it's an anti-Semitic trope that global elites have a plot to control the masses. Again, it's literally on the World Economic... I mean, The Guardian. The fucking Guardian, and like, just look at eating crickets Guardian on Google. How can you gaslight like this? Where do you have money for the gas? It's so fucking expensive nowadays, and they're gaslighting like no tomorrow. It's like it's a conspiracy theory. But yeah, I mean, they are conspiring. Oh, you don't get the whole article? It's just this? Oh, I have to pay? Fearless? Oh my god, fearless conversations about race. Are they better than the ones on the Daily Stormer? I haven't read the Daily Stormer, so I don't know. But I heard they talk about race a lot as well. Can you invite them on the NPR? Who's more experienced on talking about race? The NPR or the Daily Stormer? That's a great question. I don't read either. I don't read NPR and I don't read the Stormer, but just copy it to archive. But I don't think there's anything to copy. I think it's a 33-minute listen. I don't have time. Ain't no one have time for that. Look at this. The only thing they talk about is race. How do the descendants of slavery honor their ancestors' legacy? Going back to the plantation where my ancestors were enslaved. How a black cheer squad, like literally everything is about race with this website. And you know what's funny? Like they talked about this on Fox News. Like the hilarious thing about NPR is that their audience is overwhelmingly white. Like they talk about race nonstop. And I think it was like 80% of their audience are single white women. I don't know why. I can't understand it, but it is what it is. You know, you take it for granted. You're just provided with this, and it's like, well, what do I do with this evidence? I don't know. It's kind of bizarre, you know? It's like a variable, and it's like, well, it's there. And you're like, what the fuck is that? Hello, Ors. I remember some lefty teacher giving me and the class mealworms to eat. They actually started doing those experiments. So, like, let me pull it up. So, children eating bugs experiment. UK schools to feed children bugs as part of science experiment. Yeah, look at this fucking conspiracy theory. I heard, according to NPR, it's anti-Semitic as well. Leave me alone. Children in 4 primary schools in Wales are said to be given the option to eat various bugs. You know what's interesting? Why are they doing, first of all, like, obviously, why are they doing anti-Semitic experiments? But secondly, remember when you had, like, those, there were those bags which had, like, crickets in them, but they were made like candy? And the whole idea was, like, you're giving them to a friend, and you're like, haha, you ate a bug, haha, you know? But now it's for reals. The study is set to start this week and will feature surveys, interviews, and workshops with children between the age of 5 and 11. I'm curious, like, what happens if one of these kids happen to be allergic to this shit? Chitin is a substance that a lot of bugs have. We don't know how many people are allergic to it because mass consumption of insects haven't been a thing that was tried. Which is probably why they're doing experiments. Interesting that they chose to do it on children and not themselves. But still, responses will be used to judge the appetite from children for alternative protein as scientists search various ways to supposedly reduce the carbon footprint. Oh my fucking god, who is spreading this harmful conspiracy, which is anti-Semitic apparently? ValiantNews.com. ValiantNews.com, spreading anti-conspiracy. Oh my god. We want the children to think about the alternative proteins. I will tell you something, you know, like, the left believes that everything is influenced by society. Like, people are tabula rasa, meaning that an individual is like a blank slate, and society fills them. It's like an individual is like an empty glass, and society fills that glass. There have been cases where people have eaten bugs in Europe, yes, during times of famine. Usually brought on by the communists. So my grandmother actually told me when she was a kid in Bessarabia, and I do have like one grandmother is from Bessarabia. The Red Army came, seized all the shit, like literally all the grain, all the animals, everything, and then surrounded the village and allowed it to starve. Anyone that tried to escape was shot. Super cancelled. Not nice, okay? People started eating everything they could, including bugs. But you know what happened when the famine went away? They stopped eating bugs. But like, why? Why? I mean, if they're so fucking tasty and so good, right? Why wouldn't they keep doing it? Well, it's because people don't like to eat bugs. You know, they will always say, well, yeah, but like seafood. Okay, first of all, seafood isn't bugs. Secondly, I don't see how many people eat seafood on a regular basis. Like, sure, you know, they may eat it like a delicacy, and you eat, seafood salad maybe once per week, at most. But usually people eat it even less. Maybe you'll have like some seafood on a pizza. But it's a rare thing. Like, no one is expected to eat seafood every day. Like, you'd get sick. Good evening. Back from the 4 hour of in the ER. Does that mean that you're going to give me a super chat because you're rich? I mean, if you work in the ER. Or you're the patient. Oh, if you're the patient, you don't have anything to give me as a super chat because you already paid the doctor's bill. That's a horror of itself. The larger the animal is, the more efficient when it comes to the food intake. Bugs in the same amount of calories as cows would require much more resource to produce. It's not even about that. You know, it's the concept of forcing people to eat something that they may not want. That's the thing that pisses me off. Like, even if it was pork, right? And they would say, well, okay, well, you're not going to have cow meat anymore. We're going to replace it with pork. Like, fuck off. Why? Right? Is the idea that someone that I don't know gets to control the very basic aspects of my fucking life. This is what upsets me. Right? It's the principle behind it. Like some asshole that you don't get to see, who's driving yachts and flying planes. And you know, he's flying private jets, driving yachts, and is lecturing you about the environment while he's stuffing his face gorging on steak. Did you see the meals that they have at the World Economic Forum? Look them up. They don't eat bugs. They don't protect the environment. Don't tell us what to do. Jordan, I have to tell you what to do. It's still a business at the end of the day. You know, I'm entertaining you here. But I do need money for my video game. So I do expect some super chats, not a lot. If I make $30 a stream, I'm happy. Usually I do fulfill the quota. But it is what it is. I have to e-beg, you know? If I e-beg and I don't get anything, that's fine. At least I know that I did my job. But it has to be done. I'm from Sweden. 4 hours as patient at ER. Only to be told you have an infection in your eye. You probably knew that, didn't you? I never go to ER. You know, Romanian doctors are very cheap. Like, if you want a consultation to a specialist, kind of like $50. I pay a lot in taxes. I pay for public healthcare, but every time I need it, I go in private. Unless, of course, like I would have to do a surgery or some shit. That is probably expensive. But if I want to just get a medical opinion, a diagnosis, like an eye infection, I actually went to the ophthalmologist today. $50. No, I will not, Swamp Willow. Actually, the main character is kind of cute. Like, he's got like really nice assets. Yeah, $50. So you can go to the ER. But like, you go to the ER and you wait like 4 hours. I will super chat when I can read my card numbers. Oof. Make a picture and show it to me. I'll read it for you. You know what's interesting though? A lot of people complain about like the ER. Horrible to work there, by the way. Like being an ER doctor, probably like one of the worst in the medical careers. Maybe like there's a couple of other professions that are worse. First of all, every other medical specialist makes fun of the ER doctor because they don't diagnose correctly. And I like, you know, like you try diagnosing when there's a lot of noise, when there's people screaming, when there's all of that shit, and you have to put your stethoscope and actually listen for a heart murmur. Yeah, you go do it. You go fucking do it. And then like, oh my god, well, like it's not the accurate diagnosing. But secondly, people are unreasonable. Like, people don't understand why they have to wait 4 hours in the ER. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker. What do you got? You got an eye infection. Okay. So you want to go ahead, like, you want the grandmother, which is suffering from a heart attack, you want her to be placed on hold so that you can be seen for your eye infection. That's not kind of how it should work, is it? Right? Because if you are the guy bringing the grandmother that's having a stroke, and you have to wait for the guy with the heart infection, with an eye infection, sorry, you may get a little bit upset. A bug burger will require the same amount of cropland as a cow burger. It's just the first law of thermodynamics. Energy is not free. Well, I think it's the idea that you're not supposed to eat as much as a burger. Like, believe it or not, throughout human civilization, people didn't eat as much as we eat today. Like, if you look at medieval time, people rarely ate meat. Like, most of the time they would eat vegetables, and it was only like Saturday and Sunday that maybe they would have some sausages or something, right? Most of the time, like, the peasantry ate a lot of stuff made from grain. They drank, like, especially beer, like the thing, like the yeast from the beer, the one that was at the bottom of the ale, like, they would eat that. But yeah, like, most of the time they wouldn't eat meat. Unless they were close to a river. Like, if they were close to a river and they had access to fish, they would eat more meat. But other than that, no. So technically, like, the burger is already a luxury that we're having. So yeah, I mean, you can survive off of less. But what's interesting is that the Impossible Whopper and the insect-based burger are expensive as fuck. Cow moment. Kings and barons ate meat non-stop. Well, yeah, but they could go out hunting. It's also very interesting. See, I didn't know this, but like, having a visit from the king was actually a curse rather than a blessing. So, in medieval time, believe it or not, they didn't have supermarkets. So, the king wouldn't actually sit at his palace or castle. And wouldn't sit at his castle all the time. Like, the more he sat in a place, that place would have fewer and fewer resources. So he actually moved around. He would travel the land and he would visit his local barons and shit. So, like, if the king came to your house, well, obviously you're a high noble, but yeah, you had to, like, start slaughtering sheep, and it was very annoying, I assume. Like, it was more like, oh god, the king is coming up. Fuck. But yeah, so, like, back then, yeah, the nobles would also have a lot of gout disease because they would eat a lot of meat. And now everyone eats meat, I guess. We don't have gout, but we get fat. Less millet, grain, gral, barley. Yeah, a lot of shit that I can't know what it is. Probably know the Romanian things about it, but it's really interesting when you think about, like, medieval times. Like, they didn't even have a refrigerator. Like, how the fuck do you preserve food? And they had ways of preserving it. Like, for example, they would bury the potatoes, but they would bury them, like, deep underground, and they would, like, have, like, a triangle shape so that the rain doesn't go into the fucking hole. When people saying that meat are unhealthy, it's talking about processed meat. Well, no, like, usually if you have, like, a diet that's, like, really rich in meat, like you're eating meat every single day and you're eating a lot of grease and fat, yeah, that's not healthy. You're supposed to have, salt was expensive as fuck, Ors. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, salt actually became more popular in the later period. But before that, mostly nobles afforded salt. Salt was a luxury. One of the most expensive spices. But anyway, right, going back. Fuck, I was saying. I got triggered. And I lost my train of thought. God damn it. Yeah, the idea of eating meat, right? You're supposed to eat 75% plant-based and 25% meat-based. So that was the primary preservation method for 80% of the meat. There's many ways to preserve it. Like, they would use, like, these jars that had, like, grease Oh, smoking. Smoking was one of them. They would use like jars with grease, and inside they would have like some meat. I don't know exactly how that works. But yeah, I mean, during the winter they would also have various ways that they could preserve stuff, like pickles, jars with stuff. Sun drying, is that a thing? Yeah, smoked. Not everyone could afford salt. I know that salt is a good way to preserve it, but like not everyone can afford it, so they needed to have different ways. Unless like they would go to the tavern and buy it from there, but I don't think so. Yeah, jarring. That's interesting. Yeah, like if you have a grandmother that lives in a mountain village, she probably knows a couple of these ways. My sister had worked at a hunting club, met the Swedish king. You should listen to the stories. No. Broke my heel today, V. Fell off a ladder. I mean, that sucks, doesn't it? I'm sorry to hear that. What do you want me to do about it? Do you want me to give it a kiss? Happens. But it is nasty. Wish it didn't happen to you. I want you to be healthy so you can give me super chats. Anyway. I'll see what's going on Twitter. Did you know that Hassan Piker is going to play video games with AOC? Should make a video about this. Look at it. My God, the professor. The professor is going to play video games with AOC. You know, I wonder why the right wing doesn't play video games. I mean, obviously not on Twitch because they would get banned. I think like Donald Trump is banned on Twitch. Did you know that? I don't fucking know why. Like the man never posted there, but I guess like how can you know it's a progressive and moral uplifting company unless it? I mean, Twitch is a radical extremist corporation that happens to allow people to live stream on their platform. But with that out of the way, yeah, the right winger should actually do this as well instead of complaining. Hey, my guy banned this, banned that. It's an easy way to get votes. It's interesting though that Twitch doesn't allow the monetization of political content. No, not political content. You're not allowed to get sponsorship from politicians. But it's interesting, like if AOC comes on your channel, doesn't that count like a sponsorship for a politician? They will probably say it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure if Dan Creshaw would come to someone's channel, all of a sudden they'll be like, well, we can't allow you. You're violating sponsorship agreement, blah, 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 blah. What video games? I don't fucking know. I know that AOC does play video games, like she plays League of Legends. I think she was silver or gold. I wouldn't be surprised if she plays support. Someone should super chat AOC. Yummy crunchy corn. I'm pretty sure like people will super chat all sort of shit, but like Hassan won't read it. Do you know that Hassan got called out by Anna Kasparian, like from the Young Turks? Like she literally made a video. No, she went on the podcast of Stitch. And she basically said that, well, why do you think like these socialist streamers are doing what they're doing to gather money? And I'm like, oh wow, really, Anna? Really? You're going to do Hassan dirty like that? You're going to do my man Hassan? You're going to do the professor dirty like that? Do you guys know who the professor is? Let me hold on. The professor. Ors, let me show you something. Pay attention, Ors. This is good shit. The professor, Hassan Piker, is good. Look at this. Look at this, Chad. Look at this. The professor. Brought
This
it.
week's social guru, we cover an old...
Ors, tell me. You're the video editor. Is this background legit? Or is the background photoshopped? Is it a green screen? Or is it legit in a wine cellar? The more I look at it, I think it's green screen because like the chair does it best with the environment. But again, like I showed this before, look how many takes he's got. Look how many takes.
Classic warhorse, the let's get out of here rule.
One take, okay? So, like, he actually stopped, shut down the camera, focused, took another take.
Been passed on for centuries and helped even the Vikings get laid. Actually,
Another take. Like, whenever you have, like, these did you know how difficult this is to make? It's, like, a lot more difficult than just shooting the video from once. Like, instead of, like, reading from a script or something, just say your ideas. But no, he's reading from a script. Like, you can see where his eyes at. Like, he's looking at the script. When you do, like, what he does, I'll tell you this because I'm a YouTuber. Like, most people don't realize this, but you're talking to the camera and then you forget your lines or something, right? So you stop, you do your thing, you know, you're looking at the lines again, and then you're sitting down again, and you need to look at the video in which position you were. So, like, if you're like this when you stop talking, you put like this, yourself like this again, and you hit record, and then you start talking again from where you left off. Now, usually this happens like 2 or 3 times per video. I mean, it can happen, you know, if you have like a long rant. Eventually, you may stutter, you may sneeze, you may cough, and you're like, okay, well, I want to edit this out, right? So, you will do 1 edit, or you will do 2. Look how many Hassan is doing. Look how many takes he's got.
Lost my virginity with this rule, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. So
Another one, right? Like, whenever like he said, it's like, look.
I'm not gonna lie. So you're in the...
Like, he stopped the video, stopped recording, and then started recording again.
Club, you finally use the 5-second rule because you're smart now, because you follow bro tip, and you start talking to this girl. It finally leads to...
Again, another take. Look, the paper appears next to him. Look at this.
Girl, it finally...
Right? The paper. He literally forgot the lines, so he had to get his piece of paper in order to see what the next line is.
Leads to hooking up. And you're bold enough to grab an ass cheek and then maybe even get some hand.
Another one. Another one. Like, what? Why would you stop mid-sentence? What the fuck? Why would you stop? How can you forget what you're supposed to say? So many times. Like, Jesus Christ, look.
And then maybe even get some hand play downstairs.
I can't listen to this. This is like, it's triggering me. Like, when I know how the sausage is made, this is becoming triggering. Thank you, Joe Marks, for the $20. Relatable as fuck right now. I'm procrastinating with his stream editing and the audio for my new video, which took 1 week to record. 5 takes per line. Oh, fucking hell, dude. If it takes 5 takes per line, just do another video. Holy shit. Thank you, Hagwa G, for the $1. It is a green screen. It is. I definitely think it is. He probably laughed midway at his own joke. I didn't think about that. Maybe that's the case. Maybe he laughed at his own joke. It happens. Happens to the best of us. You laugh at your own joke, so you're like... I mean, if you're talking about something so silly, you know, and especially when you're trying to come off as a knowledgeable guru, maybe this is the case. Maybe he was lying. Maybe he was laughing. Sorry. I didn't think about that. Holy shit. That is such a good analysis. I need to hire you as a writer. But then why does he bring his paper? Because he magically summoned the piece of paper, which makes me believe that he forgot his lines or something. Hassan was a NordVPN sponsor away from becoming corporate crowder. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. There are a lot of people around that community that don't like him. He looked after himself. But of course. Dude, you can't talk about the environment. Like a lot of people say, well, Hassan bought a house. What's wrong with that? He didn't buy a house. He bought a palace. Like, when you buy a $3 billion mansion, that's not a fucking house. That's a palace. You can have like an entire Diablo hack and slash level in that house. And it would probably last for 40 minutes. It's like going in a dungeon. Fighting demons and stuff. Thank you for the 50 Swedish kroner, Vanilla Kong. Around About the Water on Mars was my first tube sample. What creators? What? I don't understand. I'm too tired. I should be going to sleep. But I need to train myself because tomorrow it's Archcast. Why the fuck is Archcast at 2 a.m. in the fucking morning? That's ruining my sleeping schedule, but it is what it is. I agreed. I consented. He bought a $4 million mansion. Yes. Which probably now is $6 million adjusted for inflation. The problem is like if you're a socialist and you're like, oh, well, eat the rich, and you're buying a $4 million mansion, come on, man. Come on. Like, you want to eat yourself? Don't eat yourself. It's like, no, but like, if he was a capitalist, right? Like, if Steven Crowder or Ben Shapiro has a $4 million mansion, that's fine. Because, like, they like capitalism, of course. But when you're talking about, though, protecting the environment and you're wasteful as fuck, like, no one needs a $4 million mansion. Get the fuck out. Unless you have, like, a family of 20. Then I would understand. If you have, like, a family of 20 and you want everyone to sit together for some goddamn reason that no one understands, yeah, then you get, like, a $4 million mansion. You need... Jesus fucking Christ. And then he's got, like, sports cars and shit. Like, there is no way. And it's like... Oh, well, so, like, socialists can't be rich, you know? So they can't say, oh, can't we improve society somewhat? It's like, listen, this is like being a peasant in medieval times and asking other peasants to give you money so you can fight against the monarchy. And what you do with the money is you buy yourself a royal title, live inside the palace, while pretending that you're fighting against the monarchy. And when other people go, it's like, hey, dude, you know, like, the fuck? It's like, oh, well, can I not marry who I want? Can I not fall in love? It's like, no, that's besides the point. You have to marry the princess? How can you fight the monarchy if you are the monarch? A little bit of money for the video game. Why, thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. Every little bit helps, Ryan. V is so socialist. He has gone to the next cycle and become neo-feudalistic. Yes. Rich cars for me, but not for thee. Yes, and none of them seem to be electric. Another interesting observation. King, I didn't vote for you. Yeah. A Porsche in an ocean blue is immediately worth only half, though. Is it, though? Can we improve society? What do you mean by improve? I want to take all your stuff and decide how much of it you get back once I give it to some other people. Yeah, that's the thing. They don't really give it to other people. They say, yeah, I'll take your stuff and give it to other people. But they take your stuff and then either give it to themselves or their close friends. And that's socialism. And that's why it never works. Because it's like, it's human impulse to not give stuff away, but to take it. By the way, Blizzard apparently decided to send Overwatch over to Steam. And people are very kind to them in the comment sections. So let's watch a couple of comments. Overwatch 2 coming on Steam. They didn't even make a lot of noise about this. Right? Like, they didn't even talk about it. It's like they added stealthily. There's no reviews yet, I guess. Let's look at the discussions. Ben Shapiro tried playing Minecraft. It was amusing. However, it annoyed me that he kept trying to read about philosophy. I need to watch that. That sounds cool. This is gonna need some serious moderation. Oh, Dios mío. People have already infested the Steam forums of games such as GTA 5, Cyberpunks, full of not safe for work stuff. And I think we all know at this point that Overwatch was indisputably the biggest case of a video game where the community went, dude, is this for real? Is this why you can't sleep at night? Oh my god, people are posting porn on Steam. Oh yeah. We need moderators. Moderators, huh? Taskete, moderators. I see links and I can't help myself but click on them. Oh no. Oh, I'm seeing mercy. I am seeing mercy on my screen doing lewd stuff. Oh, Dios mío. Oh, God, forgive me for I have sinned. Oh, fucking hell. No, seriously, like, I can understand a company, like, being afraid of this because, you know, like, payment processors and other shit. But, like, if you're just a regular guy, it's like, oh my God, no, the titty is on my screen. Ah, it burns my retina. Meanwhile, there's, like, gay, funny stuff on Steam and no one cares. That's fine. Would be hilarious if Heroes of the Storm was added too. Does that game even still exist? I actually like Heroes of the Storm. Does the game is woke? A simple question, but very serious. Well, to be very honest, in my humble opinion, without being sentimental, of course, without offending anyone who thinks differently from my point of view, but also looking into this matter in distinct perspective and without condemning anyone's view, and by trying to make it objective by considering each and everyone's valid opinion, I honestly believe that I vividly don't have anything to say. I think it's woke, yes. Like no, unironically, I can tell you why this game is woke. 85% of the roster is gay. No. Like, the way it works with Blizzard, every single time they're in a controversy, like, you can look it up if you don't believe me. Like, go on the Wayback Machine and check it for yourself. Every single time Blizzard was accused of doing something bad, without exception, right? Like, they would find out, hey, you're abusing women. You know, you're under investigation. They would be literally the next day. So we decided that Soldier 76 is gay now. We're releasing a new pansexual hero. Like, literally, no, seriously, it's like clockwork. Like, I'm willing to bet they have like 2 other heroes that they're going to announce they're homosexuals, but they're holding out on it until they're being accused of something nasty. Like, when Blizzard gets accused of something nasty, then they're like, alright, so Marisa or Orisa. Orisa is a pansexual. Andrew Tate or World of Warcraft? Who leaves Romania first? I don't think Andrew Tate wants to leave Romania. And I don't think he can. So, World of Warcraft. The Jason Aldean song brought a conversation into the Western public no one wants to have. Yes. Oh, the composer for my game made a new song. Should we listen to it, chat? Let's see. It's good shit. Yeah, I'm gonna buy it from him. I like it. It's good stuff. The picture was fine. What do you mean the picture was fine? It wasn't fine. I'm not going to play it louder. You're going to have to buy my game, and then you can play it as loud as you want. Jesus. I feel game composers seem super competitive out there. I see so many people advertising it. Real music, not just MIDI bleep bloop. You want to hear it again? Fine, let me see if I can play it louder. I'll play it at max. I like. There's a wild lion boar loose on the streets of Berlin. Is it? I heard that there were a couple on the streets of France. When is my game going to... I don't fucking know when it's ready. I'm starting to feel like Blizzard. V, play that without moving your shoulder. I'm supposed to move my shoulders? Is it? Yeah, I think it's nice too. I'll buy it. Where's the quirky bitty 60-bit like music? There is no. Very generic? Well, you commission yours. Commission yours and then sell it to me, and or I'll buy it. Copyright strike myself. I should. Maybe the composer will. I tell him I played it on stream. Anyway, can it have a succubus singing? If I get some lyrics, maybe. I'll end the stream a little bit earlier because I'm falling asleep, chat. Falling asleep. And I need to make 2 more videos for my main channel. But I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Archcast. I'll probably make another stream on my channel. And thank you for listening and tuning in. And I'll see you in the comment section.